choosing the trademark classes.
Yeah, which is just another part that's so relevant to discuss before going into the trademark application process, and where we definitely spend some time advising our clients and making sure that you're heading into the right direction. Ultimately, trademark registration only protects the products and services that are included in a trademark. So while filing the trademark application, we have to list all the goods and services that the brand will be used for. Those are divided into 45 classes, mostly for goods and for services. And yeah, it's important to choose the classes at the beginning, and even the goods and services in those classes that you actually need to protect your business and what your business provides. Too much, and it just makes the brand vulnerable down the track. Too little, and you're not getting the right protection, which might have its own issues down the track too if you need to rely on your trademark rights. So we've seen a lot of cases, I think, over the past few years too, where not the right classes were chosen at the time of filing. It can be quite confusing when you're looking into IP Australia's pick list, and some goods and services are quite alike, but they fall into different categories, like software. Software downloadable falls into one class, and then online software that's not downloadable falls into a different one. So it's good to get some advice to see which one you actually need, and make sure that
and importantly, right, once you've chosen these trademark, so IP Australia clumps goods and services into classes so that ultimately you're not sort of paying per activity, you pay per class. But frequently, well, more often than not, we find that clients will need more than one class. They'll need 2, 3, 4 sometimes, and more, all depending on what they do. But once you've filed it and got a filing date, that's it. That the trademark is set in terms of not being able to expand on the goods and services after that date. You can whittle them down. You can reduce the scope. You can delete activities. You can amend it to restrict it. So, for instance, certain goods, but only in this sort of area, and usually we do that to overcome any overlap with other existing trademarks on the register that might get cited in an adverse report, and that's to sort of overcome the examiner's issues. But once it's filed, you can't expand, and then it's just saving. Well, firstly, giving the maximum protection, which is what it's all about for the trademark, over all of those core goods and services activities of the business. Otherwise, they can end up doing their dough and just having to refile,
exactly.
Which we want to try and avoid, and at least give them the maximum protection over all of those core activities right from the start. Measuring twice, cut once, get it done right first time.
Yeah, and even when a business is expanding overseas, generally the same classification is followed in most countries by now. So by having it done right once, it's quite easy to continue on the right path, even if you're expanding your trademark protection overseas, and have a good basis.